And what's happening, guys? Welcome along to another episode of 420 News. Hope everybody's good out there. See lots of comments coming in there already. Apologies for the slight delay in going live there today, but yeah, just dinner preparations here and stuff like that just kept me from going live a bit sooner than expected. But hopefully everybody's good. Nonetheless, I see a nice audience gathering up outside of there. So nice one, guys. Welcome along. As I say, hopefully all your weeks has been going good. Just turn off the sound on my phone there so we don't get interrupted as we go through. I know John Finnegan there will be pranking me phone. Nah, John's a nice guy. What's happening, John? I see Teresa's out there as well. Linda, Keith, Ken. What's happening, Ken? Toto Frost, Teresa again, Skatanist, Monsieur Fudge, Paddy J, Akane, what's going on, Akane? Daily Talkers out there as well, Johnny F, Rain and Rocks, what's happening, Rain and Rocks? Scals is out there as well, and a Hype, what's happening, Hype? What did Hype say there? Yeah, I missed it yesterday. Or Monday even, yeah, that's what I was thinking, alright, Hype. Right, so I'm going to pack up a bowl and we'll get stuck on into it. Whoa. How's the audio out there for you guys? We actually done a bit of a renovation here yesterday. I was painting the room, and it seems like, I don't know, am I getting more of an echo there, T, or what? It sounds kind of echoey to me. I don't know, is that because there's just like less stuff inside in the room now, so I don't know, is I getting a bit more reverb? But how's the audio, guys? Are you getting any echoes out there in the audio? Give us a little feedback. Please. Pack up a bowl. Let me get ready for a little civil disobedience here anyway. Sweet, thanks for that, Linda. A nice one, Podge, as well. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just the headphones, maybe just because it's a bit louder on my side. Sweet, I got my lighter, yes. Courtesy of R420 supplies, but unfortunately R420, your sticker it hasn't stood the test of time. Unfortunately, the R420 is no longer on it. And the other grinder is downstairs, so I can't flash the goods. What else is out in the audience? Anyone else joining in there who I haven't said hello to yet? The global resistance. What's happening in global resistance? Yeah, and I came there as well saying, yes, Santiago smell weed every time. I hope to find good friends for smoke. Yes. Well, Arcane, let's blaze one together, man. We can be good friends, and we can blaze one here together virtually. Little bit of civil disobedience. It's good to have other people out there to protest with, guys. So I hope you got your torches of freedom at the ready. And let's get some civil disobedience done. Yes, it has our 420. Well used indeed. It's actually been refilled twice already. Ooh, tasty. Oh, so welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. Jeez, a nice audience out there. So if you're only just getting here now, guys, welcome along to the 420 News. Spark them on up if you've got them out there. Get your oils at the ready, your edibles at the ready, whatever form of civil disobedience you'd like to engage in as a cannabis consumer. I hope you got it. And happy 420 T. Sorry, just looking through the comments. Johnny F, what you say, Martin? I can't hear you. Turn up the hair now there, Johnny. What else you saying? 420 live from a pitch and puck club somewhere in Cork. Yeah, somewhere in Cork anyway. Even though like all pitch and puck courses, in fairness, should be worthy of an old sconce through for a few of those magic mushies. and golf courses. But just be cautious as well, guys, if you are going to a golf course or pitch and putt course, as they can use like some herbicides, fungicides, and stuff like that that you don't really want to be consuming. And these things can be like systemic within the mushroom. And yeah, you just be careful. Know where you're going picking. It's always best to go to some virgin land that hasn't been turned or touched or anything like that. Doesn't get sprayed or anything, except the old odd animal droppings here and there. But yeah, just be careful around those golf and pitch and putt courses. Hey Martins, I hope to meet you. I'm from Chile and travelling to Cork in November 22nd. Well, Kane, give me a shout, man. Drop me a DM once you're a little bit closer to that day to travel. And sure, we can arrange a day we can meet up and meet some of the international fans. But do definitely keep me in the loop there, Kane, as to your travel plans as you get a bit closer. And one of those days that you're here in Cork, definitely let's link up. Steve Jones, give Martin a few likes, folks. Guys, listen to Steve. He's a smart guy. He's not going to lead you astray, it seems. So do as he says. And sure, while you're at it, you might as well give a few shares there as well. Linda Dunn says, spark the flower and have my THC vape by my side. Very nice indeed. And what's the crack with the THC vape there, Linda? Is that imported in from outside of Ireland, or is it something crafted by somebody maybe near and there to you, or somebody you know? Just curious as to how you get your THC vapes. I know a few people that get them sent in from like abroad from the States. At least they come with some sort of quality assurance there. But if you're getting it from the UK and Spain, I suppose you're still dealing with the dangers there, prohibition. But I'd be curious to know. And if it's any particular flavour then as well. Why is Instagram so idiotic with sharing links? Yeah, I don't understand it either. It took me a while to understand this link in the bio thing for Instagram. I wasn't really fucking Instagram savvy when I started getting used to it. But now that I kind of understand it, yeah, you can only share a link through your bio. It's on your homepage. And a lot of people then opted to use those like link trees, so you don't ever have to change the link in your bio. You just like upload whatever you want to share to the link tree, and people just click on the link tree link in your thing, and it brings them into a fucking tree of links. Yes, I can. Of course, we'll meet. I really love to farm my flowers. I'm a bit of a nerd. Yes, I'm sure we'll get on like a house on fire. I can. I would definitely be a small bit of a flower nerd myself. Having an honours degree in herbal science, I'm sure we'd have a great old conversation. Nice, Linda saying it's imported from Holland. Nice, no flavour, thankfully. Yeah, that's important as well. A lot of the times those flavours actually can be more problematic. So you're just like, if you're getting a THC isolate or distillate, and just stick with that. Keep it simple. Don't be adding in anything else extra unless you know what it is. But yeah, even getting it in from Holland, I suppose you can like. There's definitely a bit of higher quality coming from Holland, but it's like it's still that black market over there. But I suppose at least there is definitely a bit more assurance with Holland than you would with maybe the UK. Spain maybe might be on par with Holland, or would you think of it a little bit behind? I don't know. I would think it would be almost on par. Almost. Eureka is brand name, and I'm so pleased. Nice. I wonder, can I get up an image of that just out of curiosity? Eureka THC vape. Yeah, Eureka Vapor. The gold standard of cannabis oil. So are these the ones, Linda? So these are the different ones that have come up here now for me. So there's Eureka vape cartridges. Coming in nice, little fancy packs and all. I got hooked up with a lovely vape cart there from the guys above in Swords Buds. over on Instagram. They spotted me above at the major smoke up there the last day in July. And they were just like, "Oh, Martin, here, we have to hook you up with that there." And they gave me a decent fucking Dublin Cannabis Club mug as well. I should fucking flash that more often up here actually, because it's nice and black as well. It doesn't have the green screen problem. Uh, that's them to the right of the pic. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that looks like the one. So, all right. Whoops, sorry, just clicked on that. To the right of the pic. So these kind of ones. Yeah. Eureka Clear, 1000 milligram. Man, the potential out there with these products is crazy, isn't it? Again, so I pay 10 grams and 20 euros, I think. Nice, happy days, man. That's not bad. Like 20 euros gets you 10 grams in Chile. And you can find good flowers in the black market. Well, again, if I'm ever having the Chile, pal, I'll certainly be looking for the favour returned. I'll have to meet up with yourself over there, and we can you can show me around. Jesus, it's crazy to think, the international audience that to be part of this show there sometimes, like as far away as Chile, people are tuning in today. So thanks very much for your comments, Ken. And again, really do let me know when you're coming, and we will meet up. Yeah, it's very expensive here in Ireland. That is for sure. But I'm sure when you get here, I'll definitely the first smoke or two is on me. I'm sure there might be a few people out there will want you to sample some of their local tastes as well, and they probably won't want to charge you anything either. Being a guest in our country, that last shape, yeah, so that was the Eureka one there, the Eureka Clear. And yeah, actually, as you say that, Linda, that last one that popped up, now that I click into it, this is actually what comes up. Old style fake. So this is a fake one. So be wide, guys. There you go. Like, didn't even intend to come along a little product warning, but yeah, these vape carts out there now, like, they're getting ripped off, even the legitimate ones. So be wide, guys. Billy Bonds, welcome to the show. He says, afternoon cannabis consumers and freedom fighters. Nice. And Johnny Finnegan saying, imagine an Irish company being able to bring those products to the market. Yep, that's it. And so much more as well. It's not just the inhalable products. There's just so many more potential products there from the cannabis plant. And again, it seems like our pals above in the north of Ireland as well said that if you happen to be travelling up there, get in touch with them. That's Green Tea out there. Green Tea says if you're up the north, give them a shout, and they look after you up there as well in that part of the country. Make sure you go to all the right spots. Yeah, Ken said in Chile you smell weed all the time. If you want to visit Chile, it's so easy to find. That's good to hear. Here in Ireland, while there's certain streets you might smell it, but it's not so easy to find as a tourist. And the people who might try to sell it to you are most likely going to rip you off in terms of like who you might go to on the street. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, unfortunately. The joys of criminalisation, fake shit being sold to decent folk. Yeah, that's it. And people like pay an extra few pound to thinking that they're going to get a legitimate product. And unfortunately, then they're just getting ripped off. Sad, really. So right, guys, let's drive on. Let's get into the news, because we're 20 minutes in and I've just been reading your comments and having it shooting the breeze. Shit, sorry, Green Tea. Did I say he? Did I misgender? Yeah, apologies. That's my bad. I didn't even realize I had done it. But yeah, I do know your real name, and I won't repeat it. But apologies there, green tea. My bad. Sorry, green tea. She will look after you again. When you arrive above and if you go up to the Northern Ireland. Sorry again, green tea. My bad. Miss Dawes was in Santiago for work a few years back. Even went up the Andes. Oh, nice. That sounds like an incredible trip. And all right, in fairness, I wouldn't mind having a job like that. Um, right, so let's get stuck into the news. As I say, guys, the first headline I have for you guys is tomorrow above in Belfast, in the Belfast Botanic Gardens. There is a barbecue in the park for cannabis reform. I could say, I suppose, cannabis reform Ireland here still applies, because like it's Northern Ireland. So effectively, yeah, for cannabis reform Ireland, the guys above in the north organising their day out, and there's going to be a picnic in the park above there, organised by the NI itself. I tried to get this video up there the other day for you myself, but unfortunately Facebook had bloody crashed. So give me 1 second there now and I'll get NI guy up here on screen feed. There we go. So here we go, NI guy. And while he does his thing, I'm going to quickly go and grab some water.
Well, Canna fans, what's happening out there? NI guy coming direct with the details for this Thursday, the 7th of October, 7:10 over in Belfast. Everybody knows when you write out 7:10 and turn it upside down, it spells exactly. 7:10 is Oil Day, Medicinal Cannabis Oil Day, and we can't wait to get down in the Botanic Gardens and celebrate. Starting at 1:30 on Thursday afternoon, we have the barbecue at Botanic. So there's going to be burgers and plenty of other lovely tasty things for you to eat. There's free entertainment, there's a guitarist, we've got a singer, and we've also got a microphone. So any of you want to be activists out there that want to come up and talk to the people about medicinal cannabis, about medicinal oil, about the government suppression, about Facebook censorship, about cancer therapy, any of that stuff, come you on right ahead, bring your speech. I can guarantee we'll get you up and talking. So guys, listen, thanks for listening. I'll see you on Thursday afternoon. The barbecue at Botanic, it is happening. For those that are travelling up from the cannabis clubs from down south, there will be parking for you. And remember, it is a public park. There will be other people there. Most of all, if it is a wee bit damp, remember to bring something for you to sit on. Any questions, get in touch. If you want to bring your edibles, please remember to keep me one. Okay guys, see you on Thursday afternoon between 1:30 and 2 o'clock when it's all kicking off in Botanic for the barbecue in Botanic for Belfast 7:10. See you all there.
And there you go, Alan Robinson, a guest of the show in the past as well. So if you haven't checked out that interview in the past, by the way, check it out. It was a fun one. I enjoyed having a chat with him, and I definitely have to catch up with him and get him on the podcast again, because Alan's making moves above there in Northern Ireland. I don't know, is it up here on his thing? There is. This is a part of his recent announcement there as well. Big news for him. So this is himself here, big smile on his face, because he's holding the keys to what is going to be the new vape lounge above in Northern Ireland. It's going to have like I suppose a cafe vape lounge type of setting, and it's going to be the first place in the whole island of Ireland where people can go in and legally vape their legally prescribed cannabis, that is. So if there's people above there in the north of Ireland where people have private prescriptions for cannabis, Alan's opening up a place where these people are welcome to come and vape their products. So very interesting. I'm definitely going to have to pay a visit once he opens the door there. I'll be doing all I can to make it up there for the opening day. But given, I've big kind of a big date upcoming myself with a baby on the way, and with these things, you don't know when that's going to actually happen. So hopefully the baby will be here, and maybe the baby can come for a trip up to the north with us. But I've definitely got got to tip my hat to Alan. Like that's a great achievement there for himself. And best of luck up above there as well tomorrow with the protest. I was intending to get up there, but again, as I say, with herself on the way, I'm kind of a bit on edge at the moment, I suppose. She could literally go any day now. She's not due until the end of this month. But still, in the last few days, it's been kind of like, oh, I don't know, am I getting like kind of labor pains? I'm just like, so I think it's best to stay here. That combined with the fact as well that I'm interviewing Tommy Chong tomorrow evening. I didn't want to maybe risk it. I was going to risk it and do the interview from the hotel room above in Belfast, but I just decided maybe it's best just to play it safe on both accords. With ourselves, I'd rather be here than 5 hours away. And at the same time as well with the Tommy Chong interview, I'd rather be kind of here and have secure internet because it's fucking Tommy Chong, like. And yeah, definitely Casa de Drogas, they're excellent to see big ideas being executed on. That is for sure. It is great to see that. And I hope it inspires more people to get out there and do their thing as well. I know for me, it's definitely lighting a candle under my ass because this is something I would love to be able to open up here for us as well in Cork. Keep talking about this cannabis activist hub. And I've been talking about doing a cannabis cafe type vape lounge type of idea in order to kind of keep it sustained, keep the doors open, and so we have a venue then to meet, to socialise, and to educate and organise ourselves at as well. So well done, Alan, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to join you there. Maybe we might have yeah, we'll have you down for the opening day of Urban too. But yeah, that's Belfast. That's tomorrow, guys. The 7th of October, 7:10, as Alan was telling you there in the little video. Irish Wanderer, you're joking. Tommy Chong on here. Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, no jokes at all. No, I leave the joking to Tommy Chong. I'm not great at him. Apparently, my jokes ain't funny. John Finnegan, Alan opened the first vape lounge for medical cannabis. Yep. Snap, Martin Condon. Hey man, no hard feelings. What? I'll still get the first one in the Republic. um, Pod 85 class and congratulations to him. That's it. Big ups to Alan. Fair play to him. Wish him all the best with it. And to everybody going up there tomorrow, I know there's a few people from Ireland heading up, from Ireland, from down south, heading up north tomorrow to the gathering. So best of luck above there tomorrow, guys. I hope the Ganja gods bless you with a bit of sunshine as they've been doing for all the other gatherings that we've had across Ireland so far. And you have a great outing. And hopefully, the authorities as well give you the respect you deserve while out protesting as they've done down here so far down south. Yeah, John Finnegan saying top Malin, another living legend is Alan Robinson. Dead right. Onshore Fudge says, think Martin's World caused a social blackout last week. Nice. And Monsieur also wishing the guys sunshine for tomorrow's gathering. On Steve Jones saying umbrella and a bong Thursday. It looked like there was a low prediction of rain in Belfast for tomorrow, and around the time of the gathering, it seems like it's just going to be cloudy, with like a 0% chance of precipitation. It says, but it's cloudy. And apparently it's like 30% chance of precipitation either side of that then. So yeah, fingers crossed, guys. Do you know what I mean? We'll blaze up a bowl there in a minute, offer up onto the higher powers, that they might bless you with some of that glorious sunshine. Cassidus Drugas, what's the number of prescriptions for medical cannabis in the north compared to the rest of the country? That'll be interesting to see, actually, Cassidus Drugas. I believe in the north of Ireland, there's less people getting prescribed medical cannabis for chronic pain. I think there's like some differentiation going on up there with chronic pain applications, or for some reason. Um, but yeah, I definitely, that would be an interesting one. All right, I know the number of people in the north of Ireland who have prescriptions, private prescriptions for medical cannabis, compared down south. I wonder would a Google search produce anything? Quick search. Number of people in Northern Ireland with private cannabis prescriptions. No numbers being given up there online. Um, Nothing up there at all online, showing that number. But I would imagine it's probably very similar to what's going on down here in Ireland. A very small number of people with access. Green tea might be able to fill us in a bit on that one, actually. Would you be able to, green tea? How many people above Northern Ireland do you think have a private prescription for cannabis? Any idea? And is chronic pain also being prescribed for above in Northern Ireland? I would also wonder that too. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, Mark Andrew. I read that somewhere as well that chronic pain isn't covered in Northern Ireland, while the rest of the UK is okay for chronic pain. Yeah, I'd read that somewhere as well, quite recently. What was that, Patricia Crean? People will always judge what they don't understand. You have my support. Cannabis reform, ganja gods, Martin's world. Thanks very much for that, Patricia. I really appreciate the support. Billy Bonds, GoFundMe, get the vape lounge open. Yeah, it's on the cards, all right, for sure. Just finding a place that will accommodate us. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Right, let's hop on, and we'll stick with Northern Ireland for a second, guys, because the next headline I have for you is a Northern Ireland cannabis consumer who helped the cops find a missing person was caught with cannabis twice in 2 weeks. So this is a case coming out of Northern Ireland above there in Enniskillen, and it's a case of what's his name here now? It's a case of Christopher Woods, 20 years of age. Christopher is, and Christopher was out hanging out with his buddies one evening, and the cops were responding to reports of a fight. And when they arrived at the scene, Christopher was at the scene hanging out with his friends. He wasn't involved in the fight at all. At least there's no indication here to say that he was involved in it. Apparently, at the time, while there was a fight happening, Christopher and his friends were smoking an old spliff and passing it around the circle. And as the cops arrived, Christopher was the one who was in possession. You know, it was his turn in the rotation, and he dropped the spliff as the cops approached. And yeah, the cops done him for it. They picked up the spliff, which is about, as they describe it here, 2.5 inches in length. And it says during a notebook interview, Christopher Woods made a full admission that the cigarette contained cannabis. Then 2 weeks later, on August 14th, at around 2 o'clock in the morning, when the cops were out investigating a missing person, they were investigating, and they were questioning the defendant, Christopher Woods, while he was inside in a Ford Focus. And when the cops were speaking to him, they detected a smell of cannabis, and a quantity of the cannabis was discovered during the search, but it was only a personal quantity of cannabis. It doesn't say how much, but it was only actually a personal amount of cannabis that it was discovered on him here. And despite the fact that he was actually helping the cops with the missing person, and his help actually led to him finding the missing person, as described by the solicitor who was defending Woods in court. That was unfortunate that the judge still warned Woods that if his behaviour continued, it would not be dealt with on a first appearance in court, and probation would become involved. And he gave him a £250 fine. So he got a conviction, he got a fine as well. But still, the judge saying that it wouldn't be dealt with on a first appearance in court, the next time, and the probation would be involved. Now, I don't know, maybe in the UK, if getting a fine actually means you're going to get a conviction. I'd imagine it does. But I don't know what the story is with the probation. Is that the fucking those wrist anklets that they make people wear over there and put them on their house arrest, and curfews and all of this nonsense, crazy stuff like. But the young fella was after helping him, been helping him with a missing person. He was caught with cannabis 2 weeks before, and while out helping him, he smelt like cannabis. The cops searched him. Like, I don't know what he was doing, bringing cannabis with him while helping him anyway. But unfortunate there. 20 years of age, getting a criminal conviction, £250 fine for what? Like, really, just having a bit of cannabis. Leave the young fella alone. Like, there's so much worse he could have been doing. Like, imagine he could have been out, like, just getting sloshed on a load of drink and not being a productive member of society out there helping the cops with a missing person investigation. Do you know, you compare that, like, he was in the middle of consuming some cannabis. He could have been after a joint, but yet he was still within his abilities to go out there and help the cops be a productive member in society. And we treat him like a criminal. Shame in our societies for doing that. So that's a case coming out of Northern Ireland. And after that, guys, we jump back down to... Anyone heard of alcohol tags? It monitors your sweat, so if police give you an alcohol order, you wear it and it alerts them. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there is bracelets like that, anklets, I suppose, not that you might call them. And they actively monitor a person's the metabolites through your skin, and it can detect like if you've consumed alcohol. Yeah, spot on, monsieur. John Finnegan, flashy new intro, high profile guest. You have come a long way since sitting at the kitchen table waffling down the camera. Well done, Martin. Nice one, John. Nice one. Always aiming high, by. Right, let's drive on because we come back to down south of the border, back into the Republic of Ireland, where Tony Keogh is back in the headlines today because he was back in court on Monday. And when he was back in court on Monday, he was there for the dismissal of his charges following, the meeting, the requirements that were put on him by the judge back in, when was that? Like in May, I think that was. I'm just going to get up my details here about the case. But yeah, on the previous day, that was back in July, he was up in front of Judge Maileen Greeley. And she said at the time that this was an unusual case in that he grew the cannabis plants in question out of some degree of curiosity in relation to them and in relation to curiosity concerning the medicinal benefits of cannabis. That's interesting, to hear a quote like that from the judge, and considering other cases out there with patients who might find themselves up in front of the judges and they wouldn't be dealt with in the same way. And their use of cannabis or their possession of cannabis, it wouldn't be out of curiosity, it was out of necessity, because for many patients before judges, it was helping them. Such was the case of Evelyn Corrigan, 68-year-old pensioner suffering with severe, I believe it was arthritis, and she was using, and I think she had glaucoma as well, if memory serves correct, and she was using cannabis to mitigate the symptoms of her condition. And before the judge, she was still kind of dragged before the courts. There was no real leniency there for her. She had to give up her cannabis use. She had to go back onto conventional treatments. She wasn't allowed to continue her use of cannabis at all. She was treated like a criminal. That was wrong. Like this guy, oh yeah, well, he was a businessman. He was investigating the business potential of the plant, and he thought it was all right to grow 1 or 2 plants, and he or 39, and it wasn't going to be of any issue. And sure, we'll give him some leniency. Like the judge was saying that she was contemplating imposing a sentence of 8 months imprisonment back in July, but instead she deferred the sentence to Monday just gone. If he met the conditions, and these were the conditions of his discharge, and it would have been that he keep to the peace. That was pretty much it. Keep to the peace and make a contribution of €200 to the Father Peter McVerry Trust. That was it. Like, think of who Mr. Kyo is. Like, €200 to me. I'm on the dole just again. Like, I suppose I'm not a student. Well, I suppose I am still a student. Actually, I got an extension, so I'm still doing my course. Um, but yeah, I suppose like I'm a student on the back to education, and like if I got a €200 fine, that's my fucking week's money gone. Like here we go, like the Mr. Tato of Mr. Kyo, Kyo Tato's crisps or whatever you want to call them, Kyo's crisps, fucking hell. Like €200 to him is a lot different than it was to me, than it would be to me. I got a €400 fine for my possession of €10 worth of cannabis. My use of cannabis was therapeutic at the very least. It wasn't anything curiosity for me. It's an essential thing. It was part of my daily healthy routine. And I got a €400 fine for €10 worth of cannabis. He got a €200 donation to charity. He didn't even get a conviction, and he gets to walk out and he had 39 plants. 39 plants, guys. It was worth at the time just shy of €20,000 that the courts were valuing it at. And he managed to get that successfully argued down to just under €8,000. He got the value changed from €800 plant to €200 plant. So sorry, I think the original value actually was €32,000, over €32,000 or something along those lines, for the 39 plants. And he got it down to like 8,000 because and the Garda agreed with him here. Like he got a lot of support here from the guards in the court as well. But they agreed that the plants didn't reach maturity, and even if they did, that there was no worries or concerns that the plants were ever going to enter into drug circulation. It's like, hang on a second now. If my €10 worth of cannabis, it was never going to enter into drug circulation. It was mine. It was for my own consumption. Like what was, you know? I got a €400 fine and a criminal conviction. What a joke. The Garda agreed also with the council that Tony indicated that he was growing them essentially for medicinal purposes, and he wanted to see whether he could use them for medicine. And he agreed that this was simply a gardening experiment. But like, when has the guards ever spoke up in court in support of any other patients? Do you know? It's like the law is the law. Like that's always their approach for anybody else. But when it's like Mr. Kyo here, like one of Ireland's fucking elite spud growers, they're like all of a sudden now in support of him. It's like, yeah, but you know, sure, it was an experiment. He didn't realize what he was doing was illegal. It's like, when would they ever argue in court for a patient? Like if Alicia came back to Ireland and they took her cannabis off, or if she came back with whatever she needed, you know, for the time that she might spend in Ireland to go to her appointments. And it'd be interesting, actually, I should have touched base with Alicia before they went live here to see if she got a response from the guys, because she was going to go public today with her letter. I'm just going to pop over to her page and just see if she did. I didn't see anything there beforehand. No, nothing up there on her page anyway, so she didn't go public with it yet, but we'll talk to her there. Maybe we might have her on, might go live with it, if she only wants to, if Alicia wants to. Sorry, I got a bit sidetracked there actually. What was I, oh yeah, I was saying if Alicia came back to Ireland, would they agree with her, would they support her? No, they would just take the cannabis off her and treat her like a criminal. But yeah, the Garda agreed with the council that they had no difficulty with Mr. Kyo walking away from the court without a conviction. It's hilarious, isn't it? You know, and you have to compare that. Like, and I don't really like to compare cases, but you kind of have to. Like, you know, when you look at like Tony Kyo caught with 39 cannabis plants, all right, 39 cannabis plants. Compare that to this case of Paul Lee. And you might remember Paul Lee, the man who got caught with €4 worth of cannabis. He's a chef from down in West Cork, a part-time chef and gardener, and he had to plead guilty before the courts for possession of €4 worth of cannabis, and they didn't really show him much leniency. In fact, you know, he was actually like regarded, you know, not directly as, but like, you know, in no other way. Like the judge said, you know, that he would consider community service. He would not consider community service for Paul until he was clean. In other words, the judge was regarding this individual as a dirty person. That's so bad. Like, you know, this is how we get treated in Ireland as a cannabis consumer, as a person who consumes cannabis for medicinal reasons. Paul has some serious health issues. You know, it says there that he's osteoporosis. It says at the moment I've between 5 and 7 fractures in his spine, and has problems in his hip and possibly a blown disc as well. He says it's a genetic disease. His grandfather had it. We've all had it, and I've been treated for it the last 5 to 6 years in Bantry. He says I could be in a wheelchair in 3 to 5 years over it. He says I don't want to be, and I don't want to be, and I'm doing everything I can to stay mentally and physically strong. But it is continuous pain, and I'm in pain right now. And he says, detailing the medication he's been prescribed to cope with the pain, Paul continued, per day he's been prescribed 150 milligrams of slow release Palexia, which Alicia talks about as well, 450 milligrams Palexia, and that's all morphine, it says, and one Anixclam, Angzicam, I think that's how it's pronounced, Angzicam, which is the new word for Valium. But don't take my word on that. I take a small amount of cannabis. I asked why he won't take the prescribed drugs. Paul said they would lead to him losing everything and everyone he loves. He says he came to Ireland in the late 80s to get away from a heroin addiction in England. And looking back, that seems mad. There was more heroin in Dublin back then than there was in England. From 9 in the morning, there was young lads in the steps of Oliver Bond's, the flat complex he was living in, selling smack. And that was 32 years ago, but he did get off the heroin when he came to Ireland, and he doesn't ever want to end up back in that again. He said he spent 4 years as a teenager banging up heroin, injecting heroin basically, and he gave me all of this stuff for my pain. I mean, I was like, whoa, I could have taken 20 of them at a time. Give me some alcohol and I'm off, baby. And you can understand that too, like, you know, a person who has they got that addictive personality there, or experienced, you know, the kind of the horrors of addiction, especially addiction to opiates, not wanting to go back to using them, even as a pain medication, that having the option there of something different, like a cannabis-based medicine, yes, would be great for them. But no, instead, you know, Paul was treated like a criminal, dragged before the courts, and for his use of cannabis, I believe he's back in court. He's engaged. Yeah, he says he's engaging with the probation services, and he has to produce 2 random urine analysis tests. I was trying to find a date for when Paul will be back in court, but I haven't been able to find anything. Yeah, I should try again to touch base with Paul, to get him on the podcast, to have a chat with him. To see how he's dealing with the case, because he said that he'd be willing to go to prison for this, because he doesn't want to use opiates to control his pain. He much would rather use cannabis, and cannabis has been helping him. So, you know, you compare that, 4 euros worth of cannabis, like, regarded as a dirty criminal in court, and, you know, 39 cannabis plants as a businessman. And it's like, yeah, well, he's just an experimental gardener. So messed up, really, isn't it? Apologies, going to fill up my ishka. Wait. Sorry, just looking at some of your comments coming in. John Finnegan, pocket change for Uncle Tony. Get away with almost anything if you have money. Well, that's it. I think there was a meme going around there about that, isn't there? That effectively, if the punishment for a crime is as a financial penalty, such as like a €200 fine for whatever, that effectively it's just a law for poor people. That's it, because it's only a deterrent for poor people, as you say, like, you know, for people like Uncle Tony, it's not a bother for him. And I think, you know, it's interesting, you know, when this happened with Uncle Tony, I even was using that, like, that we kind of adopted Tony as, you know, as our uncle for the cannabis community. And here is Tony, Mr. Green Thumb himself, and the cannabis plants. And we got behind him, in fairness. Like, this is some of the support that was out there. This was a photo that was taken at the recent protest above in Dublin at the Garden of Remembrance. There we go, a beautiful couple out there, recently engaged, might I add. And they did so live on Martin's World too. So it's an honour to have them featured back on here with their clever sign. And it is I stand with Tony, and a packet of Kyo's sour cream and onion plastered to the other side of it. A nice way to get a protest. But yeah, the cannabis community, they really got behind him. This is another supporter of Tony. This is a tweet that was up there by Anna over on Twitter. And just one of many when you search hashtag free Uncle Tony, because there was a lot of support out there for him. But as I was saying at the time when this was happening, it's just a shame that there isn't this level of support for every single person criminalised for cannabis when it happens, like the Paul Lees, like there's Paul, Paul deserves the support. Like, where was the free Paul Lee? Like we need, and actually, forgive me, because there was a lot of support for Paulie at the time, because there was a lot of tweets and a lot of sharing on social media and stuff, about the €4 thing, but there was no actions. There was no actions afterwards, and we need actions, and we need public actions, not just online actions. We need public actions when the likes of Paulie's are getting criminalised. Like, he's going to be up in court some stage when he has to go in with his urine analysis. I would wonder, would he be welcoming of a protest outside of the court if he's going to be going in and kind of continuing with his self-medicating of cannabis? And I would give you that support, Paul. If you're out there, if anybody knows him, get the word to him. If he wants some support in this campaign, if he's going to stand his ground and continue to self-medicate with cannabis, we need to support him. And we need to be supporting other people as well who come after him, because there will be others come after him. There was Evelyn Corrigan came after him. There was, and I can't think of the names of some of the others who were criminalised recently, and there were medicinal users as well of cannabis. But there's too many, one is too many. And here's a nice little infographic actually that was created recently, because you have to wonder, with the value for money for taxpayers in Ireland, all of this criminalisation for what? Like, how long was that case going on with Tony Keogh, going back and forth with his barristers, into court, out of court, signing on at the Garda station, all of that stuff, processing of the paperwork, that cost us money here in Ireland, and that has a cost, apparently in Ireland it costs somewhere in the region of a couple of 100 million every year to enforce the prohibition of drugs. So you could easily say that the prohibition of cannabis costs, to enforce it, easily over €100 million every year here in Ireland. That taken into consideration judges, solicitors, Gardaí, the free legal aid solicitors, the director for public prosecutions, and all of that stuff that goes with it. Maybe even the rehab, the drug counselling that goes with it. Court ordered stuff there that gets paid for by the state again. All of that stuff has a cost to it. And we're not making any. We could be making so much money. We could be employing people. Because criminalising people, bringing them to court for what? To give them a €200 fine. They give them a probation service. They tell them to do drug tests. Why? What are we doing? We're just terrorising people. We look across the pond to Colorado, and it's interesting to use Colorado because they have a population that's similar to ours here in Ireland. And this infographic here was created by the Cannabis Activist Alliance, and this shows the population of Ireland against the population of Colorado. Just about 700,000 there in the difference between us. Just over 5 million in each place. And in Colorado, there is 26.3% of the population of their adult population uses cannabis. Compare that to Ireland, where a recent Eurobarometer shows that 17% of adults between the age of 18 and 35, I believe was the age bracket there, use cannabis. Now again, think of the difference there, Colorado and Ireland. There's not much stigma there to be a cannabis consumer out there, so people will be more honest in surveys. So that number actually in Ireland, I reckon that would be a little bit higher. Should that stigma have gone away, people would be willing to admit that, like, yeah, I consume cannabis. It mightn't be regularly, but yeah, I might use it once a month, once a week, whatever, once a year, and whatever it might be. But people will tick the box like, yeah, I consume cannabis. Um, and that would bring the number up, and that would bring the potential revenue up then as well from that. But you look at cannabis sales in Colorado, 1.7 billion. Do you know, 1.7 billion. Ireland, you know, the seizures of cannabis in 2018, just shy of 15 million. And again, considering the Gardaí would maybe catch about 1% of the cannabis brought into Ireland, 1%. Do you know, you're talking a big difference there. There's about 1.4 billion there in potential cannabis sales for Ireland. In terms of tax revenue, do you know, in Colorado, they brought in just over 300 million for Colorado. They put that into schools, hospitals, roads. What did we bring in? What did we generate from cannabis sales in Ireland? Nada. Diddly squat. Nothing. Big fat zero. Yeah, that's what we get under the model of prohibition. Cannabis sales, all of the money generated is completely tax free. Much to the benefit of the Kinahans. Maybe it's not just the Gardaí who are working with the likes of the crime gangs out there. Maybe a few of our politicians they're actually working with them as well. Because, you know, tax-free revenue, happy days. I'm sure there's some politicians out there who love the sounds of that. For themselves, of course, like, not for the rest of us. In Colorado, right? Colorado, 41,000 people employed. Ireland, we've no idea. We've no idea how many people are employed. The rights, yeah, in Colorado, people have employee rights. In Ireland, nah, young fellas like as young as 12 are getting recruited by these organised crime gangs to go out there and to do their dirty work. You know, the businesses, there's 3,000 listed cannabis businesses over there in Colorado. In Ireland, we don't know. Effectively there is like none, I suppose, really, when you think of the cannabis business. But I suppose really we definitely have a lot of businesses catering to the cannabis community here in Ireland. We definitely have a lot of people employed as a result of that then as well in Ireland. But in reality, it's nowhere near what it could be. It's probably not even into the triple digits, the number of businesses and the number of people employed. It's probably not into the 4 digits anyway. It's probably in the low hundreds, if anything at all. Do you know, and I'm thinking of the likes of the R420 supplies, the Funky Skunks, the Mads, the Puffin Stuffs, you know, even the Little Collins and stuff like that, you know. They have all people employed. I think Little Collins were saying that they have 25 people employed. So there you go. Like in Ireland already, we've like a minimum of 25 people employed in the cannabis industry. But definitely the organised crime gangs have got a lot more people employed. As that cannabis sales in Ireland's generated by our Operation Tara. Yeah. That's it. There's more jobs created because of cannabis in Operation Tara than there is because of like CBD and all of that stuff in the rest of Ireland. 324 guards in it was 326 or something like that guards full time employed doing the Operation Tara. And considering like 70 to 80% of their focus is going to be on cannabis, that's just sad. Like, you know, like 300 people there working on actively to stop people getting access to cannabis. And meanwhile, there's a potential thousands of jobs there if we just allowed people access to cannabis. So well done to the Cannabis Activist Alliance. Well done to the guys behind us. The great infographic. Well done. More of this, please. So we drive on from there, guys, and we go from Tony Keogh's case to another case of a man who was after fleeing Ireland after being caught with €40,000 worth of cannabis. This is a case of a Polish man, and he's been ordered to leave Ireland within 72 hours after he was. I'd imagine he was extradited back to Ireland from where he was living. So this is the case of a Polish man by the name of apologies. There we go. No, I don't have him there actually. Thought that was his name. Martin. Too many tabs opened. This is the case of Jacob Gorski. Jacob Gorski is 37 years of age, and he fled Ireland back in 2012. And this was after the Gardaí in Dublin caught him with €40,000 worth of cannabis, so about 2,000 or 2 kilos worth of cannabis. And this was at his apartment on January 25th in 2011. He fled Ireland, and there was a European arrest warrant issued for his arrest. And it wasn't until August of this year that the police caught up with him over in Denmark. And in Denmark, he's said to have created a new life for himself, far removed from the life that he was living in Ireland, where he was engaged in criminality. Over there, he's a wife, kids now, full-time job. He's got no other contact. He's had no other contact with the law. He's not been in trouble since leaving Ireland. He's the defense barrister defending him said he's been looking over his shoulder since 2012 and wishes to have a clean slate going forward. And he argued that would he not give the man a custodial sentence because he's got children back in Denmark, and he hopes to return back to them again. So the judge ordered that he leave Ireland within 72 hours, and he won't get imprisoned. Otherwise, he was going to get a minimum of 10 years in prison, the judge was kind of saying, because of the value of the cannabis, and it being over to €13,000. He's been barred from entering Ireland for the next 15 years, which is interesting, considering if in the next, for by some fluke, Gino Kenny's bill actually passes and cannabis is legalised here within the next 24 months, and you have a legal cannabis industry, will Mr. Gorski be welcome back into Ireland again? Like, he's got a 15-year ban from Ireland now. He's a European citizen. He's living over in Denmark with his family. What if his kids come over and move here to Ireland and they go to college here in Ireland or for whatever reason, and he wants to come visit them? Is he still barred within that 15-year period, even if we have a legal cannabis industry? It's absurd. It really is. It's mad. But again, it's something. This is something that I've pointed out as well, is the discrimination that exists within our justice system for foreign nationals versus Irish people. And it is, you have to compare this to a case of the man who was out dazzling rabbits there recently. This is the case of sorry guys, my links are all over the gaff. There we go. And I'll pop this one back up on screen there for you guys so you can see this one. But this is a case that I covered here before, where the man was he said he was out dazzling rabbits when the cops sprung out and sprang the trap in him, and he was caught with what was described as 10 kilos of cannabis hidden in a ditch. And for his crime, he was given 10 years in prison. 10 years, with the final 2 years suspended. That was by our buddy Judge Saad with his big old count in him. But you compare that, where was his opportunity? Pick a European country there and get on out of Ireland. We'll give you 72 hours there, look, to pick a country and leave. Like, this guy absconded as well. He bonked Ireland. He fecked off to Australia. Like, where was Judge Sean O'Donovan to saying, hey, look, we won't give you a criminal conviction if you just go out there and apply and get on a plane and feck off back to Australia for yourself, That he doesn't get that same opportunity, same treatment. So that's messed up, as an Irish national, as a person here in Ireland, that you don't get afforded the same opportunity that if, you're a Polish man, or if, you're a Slovakian man or something like that, and you get cock-grown cannabis in Ireland, you might get afforded an opportunity to hop in a plane and go back to your country. Going back to Poland there, look, and we'll let you off. We won't lock you up. But again, that to me, guys, goes to show that the pressure that there is already on the system, that they don't want to lock people up. They don't want to be sending people to prison. They don't, because the prisons are already like a chock-a-block. And, the prisons are so chock-a-block, we have people escaping out of them. And that's the next headline there for you, because this is a case of a man who was, and a serious criminal too, while he's serving a 10-year prison sentence for cannabis dealing or cannabis possession. He got caught with fucking over €2 million worth of cannabis resin And on a second occasion, he got caught with over €300,000 worth of cannabis. This is a case of John Mangan, 53 years of age, from Blanchardstown in Dublin, and he was sentenced back in 2012 after a lengthy trial. Back in 2009, actually, after a lengthy trial, to 14 years in prison. And while he was out on bail, he also was caught then with more cannabis. So he got another 10-year prison sentence then. So he got a 14-year prison sentence and a 10-year prison sentence for on two different occasions. The 10-year prison sentence was handed later on in 2014. And he wasn't due to be released from prison until 2024. So he'd another 4 years in prison. Or sorry, 3 years in prison. We're in 2021 now, Martin. We're almost finished 2021. But he was held in Loughin House, open prison. So open prisons here in Ireland, they're kind of prisons where prisoners can go out like and do jobs. They don't get paid for their jobs, but it's like almost getting them ready for reintegration back into society. I think they get like days out as well, where they're like allowed to go to cinemas and stuff like that. I'd imagine each prisoner probably gets different freedoms and liberties, depending on how close they are to getting released. But this guy, a serious criminal, he was up in courts before. He was named as part of a murder trial, but he wasn't ever convicted as part of it. Although there was good evidence there to play his part in it. He was also caught in possession of firearms, a loaded Luger pistol. So like a serious old criminal, well deeply involved in the organised crime gangs out there. And he's after escaping now from prison. Because he was up in an open prison, he escaped. The reason why he escaped actually is funny enough. Above in this open prison, prisoners actually get a phone. But the phone, I suppose there's some restrictions with the phone. Probably it's only on certain hours. They probably can't get on the internet. They're not able to download apps in it and all of that stuff probably. But despite him having a phone, he still was after sneaking in burner phones. Like, he was after getting disposable smartphones, and he had different encrypted messaging apps that he was using on it as well. So yes, this guy was kind of getting back up to his old tricks once he was given some liberties. He was back, breaking the rules again. And he got caught. The cops done a search of his room. There was suspicions raised. And they done a search of his room. They found the phones, and your man was just like, "Well, see ya." As your man Snake from fucking Simpsons. Bye. And he's just bunking on. But yeah, they raided his room. They found his phone, and the guy was fucking for whatever reason, he was afforded an opportunity to escape. And now there's a manhunt on for him. There's some beliefs that he's hiding out above there in Dublin. But again, if cannabis was legal, this wouldn't even be a problem in the first place, because this guy wouldn't been ever a criminal. I suppose his crime of cannabis possession, it wouldn't be worth his while. If he wants to be a criminal and get involved in other sorts of criminality, well, cannabis just isn't going to pay. Unless our government completely F it up and overtax it and make it worthwhile for criminals to undercut the market then because of taxes. Much like what's going on with alcohol and tobacco at the moment. And soon to be happening with sugar. Imagine that, a black market with counterfeit sugar products because the government's sugar tax is just too high. But yeah, without prohibition, this guy wouldn't ever have even been a person, and anybody. He would have been a nobody unless he actually made himself a somebody through engaging with a legitimate market out there, What's going on with the comments, guys? You're quiet over there on YouTube. I see a lot of Facebook comments coming in. Let me know if you're live over there on YouTube. But yeah, interesting case anyway. Be wide if you're out there, like an escaped convicted criminal, John Mangan, 53, from Dublin. I don't know, is there a picture of him up above there on the pages? Is there? I don't have a picture there actually ready to pop up on screen for you. And you think they'd have a picture up there of him. No, they actually don't even have a bloody picture of him. He's covering his fucking face in this one, like. I'll pop up the one that I'm looking at here now. I'll hide that. There we go. There he is. There he is. Yeah, be wide if you see this guy. Great fucking photo, like. In fairness, like. So be wide, guys. And is that it for today's 420 news? Boom, boom, boom. I think so, actually. Yes, that is it. That's today's 420 news. 5 headlines for you, and still got fucking over the hour. I'm an awful waffler. Apologies, guys. Shorter news cycle today. I was a bit busy there earlier, as I said, preparing dinner and stuff like that. Herself is requiring more attention now, so I was less able to do so. So yeah, I'm just more required around the house now at the moment. But I don't mind. I love it, man. Made a lovely Parmesan chicken pasta, not pasta, broccoli, Parmesan chicken broccoli baked there earlier. With some lovely buttery mashed potatoes. So I can smell that at the moment now. So I'm looking forward to that in a bit. But yeah, that was what I was doing before we went live. I was preparing for the 420 earlier this morning though. Croncy asking, when's the interview with Tommy Chong? The interview with Tommy Chong is going to be on tomorrow evening. I'll do my best to get the I'll get it done, get the editing done by as quick as I can. Hopefully I'll have the interview released by maybe Friday, maybe Saturday at the latest. But I'll do my best to get it done as quick as I can. Editing can be a bit of a fucking time taker at times. Billy Bonds, Stardog bars only. Sorry. Yes. Seems like I'm having a problem here on my side. I'm only seeing your comments coming through in the hotbox. I'm not actually seeing it on my my application. So that's balls. Hit refresh. Hopefully that might fix it. Ooh. Right, guys. Yes, there we go. That might have fixed it, I think. Not too sure though. I'm going to open up the phone line. It's been a bit since we've had the hotline open for callers to call in. Share your thoughts, views, opinions, feelings. Anything at all. Even if you want to just tell a joke. Give me a shout. Just powering up the old phone here. She's a bit smashed. Decent old photo though. Fight night. Daughter Kelsey hopped into the ring with me. Savage. I'll pop the number up on screen, guys. Get ready. Don't everybody call at once. Boom. 085 816 7420. That's the number, guys, to Martin's hotline. Alright, I got 10 minutes of hotline, and then we'll have 5 more minutes of goodbyes, and then I'll really have to go. I'll have to be gone by 10 to. Drama musical theatre is on this evening, so I have to make sure I'm free by 6 to go down and Daddy Judy's, guys. Daddy Judy's. As much as I love you all, like, sorry. Kids, number one, and then the rest of my other kids out there. You're my second favourite. John, I'll send you some tissues, man. Stop crying. I know you're crying, John. Sorry, bud. Sorry, guys. Still a bit phlegmy. What's that? Mistow is on. Oh, the printed cushions of weed bags. I love those. Anyone see the 3D pillows of cannabis? I did not actually. That'd be really cool, like an actual bud. There we go. Yes, got some herb in here, grinded up. It's funny actually, since Dan pointed it out to me, about the bong and stuff like that, and kind of not being properly smoking on screen. Most of the bong is off the screen. I wonder, like, am I not getting kicked either because of like showing the green screened cannabis flowers? You can't see them because they're green screened. Whoops. I'm sure you're all well used to that music. Oh yes. They'd make a fortune on clones for going to school plays and teachers' meetings in the future. uh, no, we just need to make the days longer. That's all we need to do. Just make the days longer. Whoops. Just not enough time in the day. Anyone want to slow down the rotation of the earth? Make the nights longer then as well. That'd be good. Longer nights, get like more sleep. Longer days, get more shit done. It's like fucking win-win. John Finnegan says, saw a video of cops pulling a guy over because he had two of those cushions in the back of his window in his car in America. Lousy. Yeah, that's the one thing, I can remember when I came back from Amsterdam a few years ago, I brought back like a cannabis leaf air freshener. Didn't even smell like cannabis. It was like fucking pine or something like that. But it like didn't resemble cannabis at all in any way. I was really hoping it would. But even that, like, I was like fucking, I was like, will I hang that up in my car? I was like, I did in fairness for a while, but I was really cautious about it. Like, if I ever go up to a checkpoint, that if a cop sees it, he's going to want to search my car. And that's no bueno. Let's blaze one up, guys. Everyone start walking backwards and slow down the planet. Right, we'll start at 6 o'clock, all right? Everybody at 6 o'clock? Let's do the backwards, man. Dan Jackson. What's the phone number on screen for? That's the Martin's World hotline. I should include that, shouldn't I? Put my bong down 1 second. Martubies. Fat fingers. There we go. Oh, wait, no. We need to center that. Savage. That better? There we go now, Dan. I should have improved. I should have done that a good while ago, I'd imagine. Martin's World hotline. I should probably put in like underneath that now, like lines are open, but don't call just yet. I'm about to spark up my blaze up my bong. Just about to do a little civil disobedience. Hold your horses. I think I'm gonna need a bigger bong sometime soon. Yeah. I'm just kind of thinking like I've been using this one for a while now, and it's just like it's neat. Like it's a need of a clean as well. Like, but it's not bad. The last nice one I had was worth like fucking $120. I think I paid for it or something. Well, herself paid for it as a gift. But it broke. Damn it. So it's like a €30 replacement now. It's been doing the job, and you know it, like the €30 replacement, like fucking it never breaks. Thing's bloody indestructible. I say that now and it'll fall later and break. Martin's making people's munchies massive. Master Mackie, welcome, sir. Oh, is Mackie out there? Have I seen? Oh, I missed Mackie's comment there earlier. Welcome, Mackie. I had a little bit of problems there with the comments coming through, so I've missed a lot of your comments there from earlier. Currency, use reverse psychology. Have a load of these weed pillows. They pull you over. They know they're just pillows. So the next time you have shit, they don't know they're just they know they're just pillows. Yeah, I love my Chong's bong. Maybe when I'm talking to Chong actually tomorrow night, he might have a nice bong he might hook me up with. Might send over a signed one. That'd be savage. John Finnegan says Doozy will be getting an order from Cork soon. Yeah, I was definitely considering Doozy. All right. I've seen their one. I like their large the large beak snapper. I think it's called or something like that. But it's like $200. So I've been kind of just waiting. Maybe Christmas herself might treat me to that as a Christmas present. But just right now it's outside of my fucking budget. I'm working with a budget of like free. Times is hard. You should go back to delivering again. Delivering pizza and Chinese. Delivering Chinese wasn't too bad. Delivering pizza was a bit of a pain in the arse, especially working for Domino's. But the Chinese were really cool, man. That they were really cool to work with. They just ride you though. Ah, yeah, Martin jinxed the bong. If weed puns are a sin, I'll see you in hell. Hey, yes, yes. Yes, Monsieur, you're a legend. I love it. Love the jokes. If you missed that one, guys, he said, if weed puns are a sin, he said, I'll see you all in hell. In hell, in hell. Ooh, yay. Love it. Well done, Monsieur. Fucking. Do a GoFundMe bong. We're not that badly stuck yet, Mark. Not yet, anyway. But if there's any bong companies out there, maybe that want to sponsor, maybe I'll send fucking the boys at Doozy. Maybe we can come to an arrangement there, and they might want the sponsor because it'd be nice. You know what I mean? As we're hitting it, it'd be nice to kind of see the. Oh no! Oh yeah! Imagine if that was Doozy. Ooh. And there's at least three chances for exposure across the R4 or the 420 news. Pods 4420 says, on my first day of being tobacco free today, shout out to Kevlar 420 supplies for the tobacco substitutes. Yes. And guys, let it be known that if anybody else out there is looking for tobacco substitutes, don't go look any further than R420 supplies. R420.ie. That is what you need. I believe he's got some herb bacco. I think that's what it's called, herbacco. And a few other alternatives over there as well for you to choose from. So check them out, r420.ie. Make sure to support them. Don't be shopping on that Amazon. Yes, Kieran C says, check out the movie trilogy of the Evil Bong. Maybe that's something we can do together some evening. And we'll put on like one of these low budget fucking stoner movies. I've seen the Evil Bong before, and I've seen the trilogy. I've seen the covers. I've actually watched the movies. I've like watched the trailer, and that was kind of enough. I was like, I don't know, am I that high? I think it's something you do like as a social thing. with friends. It's probably a movie that it's like okay to talk over. So maybe we might zoom it some night. All right, we've 4 minutes left, guys. So as we have no callers, we're gonna close the hotline, but that's okay. Be more chances to call in other days. And R420 Supply is saying thanks. Not a bother at all, R420. Well done, and thank you for supplying cannabis consumers with an alternative to tobacco. Because I definitely think that there's too much nasty stuff in tobacco currently because of the way in which it's grown and produced, and it's just en masse. It's just not good for you. Definitely think that even within tobacco, if you grow your own, I definitely think you can do a bit of harm reduction there. Um, Damien is a great sub for Backy. It's coming in from Irish Wanderer. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I've heard of that one. Damiana. Yes, I've heard of that one. All right, Damiana. That's right. I knew I've kind of heard of something similar. Damiana. Iana. If anybody's looking for that, that's coming in there from Sorry, where's your comment gone? That's coming in from Irish Wanderer. Yeah, that's who was saying that. So Damiana. Oh yeah, you corrected it in the next bloody comment. Sorry, I should have looked down a little bit further and I would have seen it. He says Damiana has a sweet bubblegum, lemony scent and taste. Good to infuse DMT as well. Nice. Yes. That's where I've probably come across it as well. And also, is there not another one similar to that? Yeah, there's a few of them out there. Talking about infusions of DMT. That's actually some changa. Yeah, it's been there quite some time. I actually fished this one out. Podge, if you're out there. It's for you, bye. And there's probably enough there to share as well. Yeah. Skullcap is an unreal sleeper tea that's coming in from Irish Wanderer as well. And yeah, Skitana saying American Spirit is good, natural, untreated tobacco and widely available. Yeah, that's right as well. American Spirit as well is a good natural one. But definitely, I think there's better varieties of tobacco that you could grow yourself as well. And the one that they're growing all the time is Nicotiana rustica, I think is the name. But like cannabis, I'd say even within tobacco, there's varieties there, and better plants, maybe better strains of tobacco. Yeah, but that's what's in there. There's Banasterops capi inside there. There is what else did I put in there? There was another leaf as well. There was Banastops capi. There was a tiny bit of cannabis put in, and what was the other one? Shit, I can't think of the other one now. There was a few different leaves there that I put in anyway. But yeah, good stuff, like. Yeah, and if anybody's wondering, actually, Irish Wanderers filling in there, Changa is a blend of herbs if used with DMT to potentiate and calm the effect. It's sheerly beautiful, scary, lol. Yeah, a Changa is effectively that. It's a combination of herbs which are chosen to help enhance the effects there of the DMT. So right, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you with that one because the clock has ticked over and I'm gonna have to go and do my duties. Syrian Rue, if there is no yeah, that's right. Yeah, Syrian Rue is it the one that's got the Harmalas, I think. Jesus, it's been a while now since being on the DMT Nexus and doing all of that investigation. But yeah, there's some great combinations you can make out there, alright. So right guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll be back with more 420 news on Friday. To everybody again going up there tomorrow to the Botanic Gardens in Belfast. Best of luck guys. May it be a very great and successful day for you. I'll see you on Friday. So stay blazed, stay safe, and keep her lit. Bye bye.